good morning for those of you that are watching. We're going to wait until we get a little bit of a fill here. We've got lots of stuff to talk about this morning. Looks like the old clapper has not done it. There's Tefel joining up. Good to see you, Tefel. Let's see here. Like I said, we're just going to hang out and wait for a second for these rooms to fill up a little bit more. And then if not, then we'll just go from there. Hopefully you all had a good weekend. Mine was actually pretty good. Spent a lot of time working with the solar oven. You guys should have all seen that on the multiple platforms where I was posting things. I'm going to turn this light away from, can I turn that light away from my eyes a little bit? Yeah. If I do that, then I guess it's not that bad when I do it like that. Like that. Okay, so Mondays suck. Everybody hates Mondays. It's like, and you're like, LP, give us a show. Wake us up. So working with the solar oven this weekend, lots of fun. I've made them before. I've used them before. I've always enjoyed cooking using solar ovens. They're so versatile. I have one little segment of that video. Let's see here. Does it benefit having me here or on YouTube? Tefel, you can be wherever you want to, bro. You can be wherever you want to. If you want to look at it long ways, you're here. If you want to look at it sideways, here. But you're welcome on either one of the streams. But I appreciate you asking me that. And you're obviously first, West Virginia Pappy, number 2. And I know I'm not going to be able to see it, but I know Alan was number 1 over on the YouTube side. And we'll go over that here in a second. Major Ken's like, echo, echo, echo. Yeah, it was an empty room. The food was excellent. It was unbelievable. Fed it to their girlfriend. She'd never had it before, and she was just blown away as to how much flavor stays in the food when you cook it in a solar oven. I think the only mistake that I kind of made was I used a little bit too much beef broth, and that created some steam issues, which weren't a big deal. Just leave the damn open oven, let it set in the sun, all the vapors go away, not a problem. But that pot that I was using had one of those little holes in the top of it to vent steam, and I think that caused a lot of condensation inside of the oven. And like I said, it's still in the sun right now. It's still in the window, and it's going to cook off. It'll be cooked off by the time I go down and pick it up after this live stream. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and check the old YouTube. I'm going to close this. I don't need this open anymore. Just sucking up assets. Let's go ahead and check. Why do I have 2 of these open? This is weird. This is very, what is going on here? I think that one needs to get closed and go away. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and check the chat real quick. And like I said, Alan, I know Alan was the first. Hicktown Honey was number 2. Bob Pita. What we got? Catitude, Light Raider, Hicktown Honey, Jordan, Stewart's Prepping. Good to see you guys. Major Ken, Jeff Allen. And I think that is it. Current User says there's about 11 of you in here. Dynamite. If you haven't done it yet, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. It draws more people in and lets them know that we are here and talking about good stuff. West Virginia Pappy just became omnipresent. All right. So let's go ahead and knock out the first thing let's go ahead and knock out the dumb news. So if you didn't know this, Amazon is now announcing a partnership with Hyundai to expand its car selling business. And so you can buy cars on Amazon. Go figure. They're getting their fingers into every market they possibly can. It's absolutely crazy. All right. You got Javier Milei won the presidency in Argentina. The media calls him right wing and far right. Reject these labels and read up on him yourself. Argentina's economy is in the toilet, so it's not a mystery why they would vote for such a different type of candidate. Exactly. Hopefully the guy can actually do some good without getting himself assassinated. You're going to love this one. I'm going to fix this screen so I can see it a little bit better. A member of the French Parliament was accused of drugging a colleague, so he was then subjected to a drug test himself. You're going to love this. He tested positive for amphetamines, opiates, cannabis, cocaine, methadone, and MDMA. And the question is this the cocktail that is required to be a politician these days? Absolutely love it. Hey, what's up, Burr Lady? Good to see you, lady. Good to see you. Where are we at here? Apparently, zombie deers are a problem in Yellowstone right now. If you didn't know what that really is, that's I think it's something wasting disease. Deers get it; they become infected, and their parts of their body just starts to fall off and scab up, and they actually get Alzheimer's. So if you see some deer with some giant stuff all over it, just leave it alone or figure it out. Let's see here. By the way, Iran unveiled a new hypersonic missile with rare hypersonic glider technology. Isn't that funny? Let's see here. UAV fighters claim to have attacked a U.S. airbase in Iraq with a drone strike. Oh, there it is. All right off the bat. Who is that? Kentucky. Man, my eyes are really messed up. Kentucky Goldman. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Yeah, they reported it, but they didn't really cover it in detail. There was a drone strike. I want to say it was last Friday, possibly Saturday. It supposedly injured one and killed two, but they're not really talking about it because they don't want the U.S. to get drug out into another war in the Middle East, which may or may not happen, but they're trying to keep it on the down low. All right, let's see how that West Virginia Pappy says that cocktail could explain Congress nowadays. Yes, it could. Yes, it could, my friend. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that window out. And then, so the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, if you guys all know, I'm pretty sure everybody in here right now knows that economic collapse is my number one prep. It basically protects me from everything except for, tsunamis and meteor strikes. The economy is not doing super great, guys. And it's that time when everything goes quiet, that sense of what's coming next, that sense of why is everything so quiet right now, almost like that calm before the storm. First and foremost, I am not making any predictions. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing. Hey, what's up, Marty? Good to see you, bro. Hit 400 subs the other day. Good for you, Kentucky. I'm glad to see you guys coming up. Glad to see you. Violets, good morning. Good morning. But what happens in these cycles when a country is nearing collapse is it's a three-part cycle. It's inflation, deflation, and then hyperinflation. Good morning, Colt. It's really those three main factors that actually cause the collapse of a nation economically. Hyperinflation, that goes back to the original German, what is it, Ranwer province or something like that. Yeah, I can't help it. My brain is not working, and my eyes are not working very well at all. But it takes what? Oh yeah. Good morning from Virginia. That's right. You're from upstate New Virginia, or hell, I don't even remember. Anyway, so they're already talking about deflation, guys. You may see some prices that have been coming down, and it's kind of good news, but it's not really good news. So deflation could be coming this holiday season. The CEO of Walmart has said in an interview on CNBC. Deflation could be coming. Prices have fallen, especially on general merchandise and on some key grocery items. Yet the discounter struck a caution tone, saying customers continue to watch their spending. Basically, he's saying prices are coming down, but that doesn't mean swoop in and buy all this stuff, because it could cause deflation. And it will likely do exactly that, because most people don't understand exactly what's happening in the economic picture. Shoppers may get an early present this holiday season, falling prices in many gift-giving categories. On Thursday, Walmart CEO said deflation could be coming as general merchandise and key grocery items such as eggs, chicken, and seafood get cheaper. He said the retailer expects some of the stickier high prices, such as the ones on pantry staples. Oh, there's some words for us, to start to deflate in the coming weeks and months. So what does that mean? It means that all those things that we stock up on to put in our pantries, the prices are going to go down. So you should be paying attention to that so that you can take advantage of it regardless. And this is not about people hoarding or anything like that. You're always going to get those people that are going to be like, just save enough for everybody, because they're not going to know what's happening. They're not going to see what is happening. So this will be your opportunity to take advantage of it. Where are we at here? In the U.S., we may be managing through a period of deflation in the months to come, he said on the company's Thursday earning calls. And while that would put more unit pressure on us, we welcome it because it's better for our customers. So he's basically saying prices are going to go down. It's going to be good for the customers. For more than a year, customers have coped with inflation that peaked around 4-decade highs and drove up the cost of nearly everything, including groceries, rent, and utilities. But he commented, his comments echoed what the government and other retailers said earlier this week, offering signs of relief for inflation-weary customers. So what they're basically saying is that even the government is saying that inflation is going down. They actually tried to, what's up, Blaine? I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. They actually tried to take a victory lap this last week, say because inflation numbers are flat. And if you're looking at the charts, and I'm not trying to make you guys like some kind of inflation manager or super duper guy or whatever, but if you look at the chart, the numbers are going down, but they're going down at such a low rate, you can't actually tell. You know, it's like that 99 extra 0.99 cents that are on every gallon of gas. You can't tell because the inflationary rate is going down so slow. The market is considered to be flat. So inflation is going down, but what will happen is as it goes down very slowly, the people will still continue to not spend because they'll have to spend on things that are what they consider discretionary, where they're only buying the stuff that they need, not the things that they want. And even though Christmas is right around the corner, they're already saying that there's problems with that because here's the difference. The average meal, Thanksgiving meal for a 10-person household or a 10-person gathering is estimated to be just over $64. Okay. It's come down to just over $61. So you see what I'm saying? You're only saving about $3, which is great, It's a gallon of gas. Don't get me wrong. You know, every penny does count, but the government cannot pretend that inflation is coming down when it's coming down so slowly that it's not even having a true effect. And then it'll get to a point where it will actually turn into deflation, which is a serious problem for us. Okay, so I wanted you guys to do that. I'm going to go and we're going to check the chat here. I don't think anybody's actually been talking about anything because it's Monday. Mondays are always slow, but it's not an excuse not to put anything in the chat. Matter of fact, if you did anything to prepare, if you worked on a prep this weekend, I want you to put the number 1 in the chat. That way the algorithm knows that the chat is turning on and people are paying attention and doing things. Hook me up, I'll hook you up. Get on it. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat right now. Looks like Leroy showed up. Oh my God, good morning. Eagle Ever says, hey, young dude. Gas prices are going down. Absolutely. Gas prices have been going down for about 2 weeks now. I've been exposed. Let's see here. Bree, I don't recognize you, Bree. Welcome to the channel. make sure that you hit that subscribe button. That way you get those notifications when I go live, which I do every day, Monday through Friday. Let's see. Bree says, I re-upped my go bag. Good, good. You should do that once. Some people say that you should do it with every change of the season, but I normally do it about every 6 months when I feel the cold coming on. Like I keep telling the girlfriend, you know why it's cold outside? Because it's winter. And she's like, no, it's only fall. I was like, well, my go bag doesn't care if it's fall. My go bag cares if it's winter. So I'm going to have winter stuff inside of it. Let's see here. Chris says, I did some reloading. Let's see. Bree says, I've watched for a while, but never catch the live. Oh, well, thank you, Bree. I appreciate it. Matt says, cigarettes gone up to 65. What? Oh, okay. Did you say a pack? Maddie, did you say a pack as in like a pack of cigarettes? Okay. Cigarettes come in cases and, yep, a pack. Holy. You guys hear that? $65 in Australia for a pack of cigarettes. Oh my God, that is absolutely ridiculous. But I also think that has a lot to do with socialism taking over Australia, and just they're just trying to get smoking's bad, okay? It doesn't follow the green agenda. It's crazy. Government tax, gotcha. That's absolutely crazy. That's crazy. What do we got? All right, so I think we picked up over there. Let's see. Yeah, West Virginia Pappy says on the clapper, I pay $65 a carton here. Wow. Well, here's the thing. So if you guys, I don't think I tell people that much, but I did smoke for 20 years while I was on active duty, which is really weird, but I did. And I can remember I used to smoke Salem Lights, and I could get them from the ship store for 50 cents a pack, or I could get them for a carton for $5. So when they start to come after something, they will just price the hell out of it, cheapest scotch is $40 a bottle. Cheapest scotch is $40 a bottle, but 700 milliliters. I gotcha. Well, it's Australia, dude. You guys are some serious drinkers, man. I've drank with Australians before. And you got to keep that. If your government tried to take away your alcohol, if tried to tax you like that on your alcohol, there would be an absolute uprising. There would be absolute uprising. Coco says they're $13 a pack in New York. Weed is less expensive. Yeah, I got that right. And Kentucky Goatman says it's a good time to quit smoking, I guess. It's always a good time to quit smoking. I'm not one of those hypocrites that look down on people because they smoke because I quit. But it is what it is. So you either can do it or you can't do it. Let's see here. What do we got here? Yeah, Tiff, that's why I get the Pall Malls. Hey, I ain't paying for no filters. Screw that. Okay, so move to Michigan? Question mark. No, not doing that. No one's doing that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next subject here. And this whole thing is going to be economy based, and then we can do some Q&A afterwards. But this thing is whole economy based, and I wanted you guys to know where I was coming from when I talk about this stuff. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the stock market. Now, I know this is kind of dry, but I've got it narrowed down to the things that are actually going to matter to you guys, because the economy and the stock market are interconnected. Just as you saw on the thumbnail, they hold each other up. Okay, so understanding some of the basic rudimentary things of the stock market is important to understand the economy and the effects on the economy. So this article says, prepare for stocks to plummet 30%. That's a crash, guys. That's a flat out crash. Plummet, yes, not glide, not soft landing, plummet 30%, and a recession to strike any day now, legendary market prophet says. Where are we at here? Stocks could plummet by as much as 30%. Gary Schilling is making this prediction. He's actually very well known for making accurate predictions. Gary Schilling said he expected a recession to hit imminently if one wasn't underway already. And we all know, if you guys don't think that we're in a recession right now, I don't know what cloud you're floating around in. I really, really don't. we have this thing. We have this thing in America where we're brainwashed to like, oh, things are great, and then things, oh my God, super sucks. Oh, things are great. Oh my God, super sucks. Oh my God, things are great. And right now we're in that things are great thing because the price of gas went down 20 cents. And a loaf of bread isn't $5 anymore. It's only $3.50. You know what I'm saying? So it's really bad the way we do that here in America because we think that we're doing this, but that's not what's happening. All the numbers are just going flat. And we get stuck and we get used to that slow boil, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see here. He said he was betting on treasury bonds and oh my God, the US dollar and against stocks and commodities. Now, when he says that he's betting against, if you guys remember last week, I talked to you guys about the treasury bonds and how the US government isn't successfully selling them anymore, how they are now the foreign governments who would normally line up to buy those bills are like, no, we're good. We're good for right now. And they actually had to keep lowering the interest rate on them so that they would become more like the government, those governments wanted to buy them. Okay. Easier to see, easier to sell, things like that. It took them 5 times to change those, to lower those interest rates on those bills before the other governments started getting involved. And even then, only the small guys did. China did not. We talked about that last week. All right, so prepare for stocks to plunge by a third and a recession to strike imminently. And I've been, where are we at here? Quote, I've been of the opinion that stocks, and I can carry out with this forecast early last year, would decline about 30%, 240 peak to trough. That's not good. Gary Shilling was the president of a Gary Shilling and Company, told, this is all stuff that doesn't matter. You'd have a further decline of about 30% from here to get to 40% overall decline peak to trough. It's not good. It's not good, guys. The veteran economist, known for correctly calling several major market trends over the past 50 years, said he expected stocks to fall because the U.S. economy was faltering. Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Where are we at here? We probably do have a recession coming shortly if we're not already in it, he said, pointing out, I gotta drink some more coffee. Pointing out to the inverted yield curve, weakness in leading economic indicators and the Fed's commitment to crushing inflation. So the Fed is basically responsible for this. They're causing a lot of problems. When you look at the combination of those things, it's pretty hard to escape a recession, he said. Now, what are we really looking at? So if in the near future, there's actually a full up recession directly related to the stock market plummeting 30 to reach a 40% loss. That's huge, guys. That's absolutely huge. Huge. If you take the value of Microsoft and cut out 40% of it, we're talking billions upon billions upon billions of dollars lost in the stock market. That will directly affect Microsoft's sales, their ability to make computers, and it's going to affect the market. So it trickles all the way down. People are invested in it, and people will lose everything if they're attached to Microsoft because it's such a huge commodity. So be aware of the stock market because it can drive, and it will likely drive us into a true recession that people can actually see, very much similar to the one that happened in the 70s under Jimmy Carter. So, and if you think gas at $3, $4, $5, $6 a gallon is a problem, wait till they start saying odd numbers. Odd numbers on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Friday. for gasoline. If you showed up with an even number at the end of your license plate, you ain't getting no gas on those days. That's how it was, because it's not just about the money, it's about the product and then the lack of the product. Okay. Remember, it's inflation, deflation, hyperinflation. So during that deflationary period, the cost goes down, everybody buys it up as a huge commodity, and then that commodity becomes very sought after because it's limited, and now they can only control the sales of it by either hiking the prices through the roof or by cutting down your availability to it. These are things that you need to think about. These are things that you need to be focused on in your preparations, because if you're not paying attention to it, it's going to happen, and it'll happen on your watch, and you won't be ready for it. So let that sink in there for a while. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and check the chat. Looks like I got some stuff down here. People still building new homes around here. I don't understand how. West Virginia Pappy, that's because that money had already been procured through a project, and they're building the houses because the builders use their money to build the house, and then they sell the house, and then the realtor is somebody, or through the realtor, and then the house gets sold to people. Now the houses can still be getting built, but as far as them being sold to people through a realty company at anywhere from 7 to 12% interest, that's not happening. The real estate market is taking a beating right now. People are not buying houses because they can't afford to do it based off of the interest rate. There was some weeks ago where we talked about it when I was looking at buying a house, and what was it? I think it was we estimated the house's value at $250,000, and then after we applied the interest rate, it was over $500,000. So it's actually more in interest than it is in the price of the house now, and people can't afford it because they're not willing to buy into that. These people that are buying houses saying, "Well, we'll refinance later." Hey, that's great, but I hope it works out for you. But right now, people are not willing to take that risk. Let's see here. No new builds here, but plenty of homes selling. I don't get it either. Exactly. That's situational, and that's based on the location to fell. And also, the houses that were built cost less to build than the current houses now that are costing more to build. All right, let's see here. We're at here. We're going to go to the YouTube chat here real quick. It's about to be legal in Ohio too, like the 8th of December. I got you. You guys are talking about weed. I got you. Down Honey says, I actually didn't vote for it. It was okay with medicinal use, but the issue wasn't written well for me to support. Basically, you can own guns or you can own guns or use cannabis. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about how they were trying to use that to get rid of guns, so I think people that weren't paying attention to that really got schnooked. I'm tired too, LP. Well, I'm tired, guys, because Penny has been sick for about 3 days, and she is lost all controls of her back end. We thought we had her cleaned out and everything was fine, and then the next day it just started all over again. So we thought it was the food that was doing it, even though we didn't change any. We thought she might have caught some bug when we took her to the mountains. We got all these variables, and now I'm to the point now where I literally the only place that isn't carpeted is the living room area. They just have we just have throw rugs. So I literally pulled up all the throw rugs, put her bed in the living room, and then made the hallway inaccessible to her. And then I slept out on the couch with her all night long, just to make sure that if she got up, because when this started, it was every 2 hours I was getting up and walking her in the middle of the damn night. So I figured, what the hell? I'm not going to keep the girlfriend up. Hey, you go to sleep. I'll stay out here with the dog. And yeah. And so she didn't do anything last night, which was great, but the couch was really uncomfortable. It's the first time I'd ever slept on that couch. It was really uncomfortable, so I didn't sleep very well. I think my Fitbit told me I got like 3 hours and 3.5 hours worth of sleep. Let's see here. Where are we at? at here? I'm waiting for my coffee to cool down. Unless you have the cash in hand, mortgages aren't being issued. Yeah, absolutely true. Um, they're only offering the ARM with high interest rates, and at least in my area of Tennessee, we just had a farm in our country go for $30,000 an acre. Yeah, listen, guys, there's also something going on there. I mean, because we still have one more thing to talk about here before we'll go rambling on, but I want to hit it while it's still fresh in my mind. There was actually a lawsuit that happened. I want to say they finished it at the beginning of the month, where they found that realtors were artificially inflating the prices of the houses so that they could get larger commissions. And some realtors with TikTok channels actually came out and said, this is all going to be overturned, and don't worry about this. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you doing this? Why are you saying this? And what they're doing is they're trying to protect their income, which I understand. But here's the thing. When you artificially inflate the price of something that is supposed to be valued, it's like real estate is a huge difference between raising the prices on a pocket knife or a gallon of milk, or you know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. You don't have enough chickens, your cows aren't making enough. You know what I'm saying? There's an actual logistical issue and reason for doing that. You know what I'm saying? When you artificially inflate real estate, real property, it's a federal offense. And so the company that did it was, or should I say, the Realty Association that did it got fined, I want to say at $2 or $3 million. And if that's happening, then it's happening in a lot of places. Grandma used to own a real estate business, and she had to close her doors because no one was buying land anymore because they couldn't afford it anymore. And she refused to play that game. So it's very heartbreaking to find out that an acre of land is $30,000 an acre. That's bunk. 8-10 years ago, the running price for land has always traditionally been, even uncleared land has always been $10,000 an acre. I think you're normally in the 15,000 an acre, unless you're on the like water side or water's edge, that type of thing, where they can try and get more for it. But yeah, and then I mean, and think about the person who's got that money to buy an acre of land for $30,000. I mean, what else is what's he gonna do, man? He's gonna put a shack on it. That's crazy, man. Let's see. Thank you, Violet. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I've decided today I'm just gonna keep feeding her. I'm just gonna keep feeding this dog until solids start coming out of the back end. She's not drinking a lot of water, and it's really difficult to go through this process. But I think if I just keep doing that and then keep her as close to me as possible at all times, where she can't sneak off and make a mess, or I can't tell that she's about to lose control, because she'll start dancing around if she's got to go out. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. Major Ken says it was over the forced 3% buyer and 3% seller commissions. Got you. Let's see here. I sold half an acre a couple months ago for $40K. Holy shit. Violet says we have had folks from the West Coast paying up to $60,000 an acre at the beginning of the year for bluffs, unusable land, or builds or farming. It's slowly coming back, but it's insane. And Hicktown Honey says, well, it was a farmer. He bought 80 acres. We will never make it back by farming the ground, or he'll never make it back by farming the ground. Hey, roll to IC. Good to see you, bro. Yeah. And so here's the fear. The fear is that you buy this land for so many, so much, it's valued at so much. And then these, the county, or it's normally the counties, come in and devalue the land. It happens. It really does happen. And my property. I still have the property in North Carolina, and that one went from 160 to 190, on its taxable value. So it's great if you want to sell a house, but if you want to buy a house, it super sucks. And the only reason I'm holding on to that property because my dad told me years ago, if you buy and own land, never get rid of it because they don't make it anymore. All right, let's see here. They were accusing Trump. What do we got here? I can't read this shit. No new buildings here since plenty of home selling. I don't get it either. Remember the gas lines? Yeah, ain't that what they are accusing Trump of? They're accusing him of everything, man. Everything. What do we got here? A to Z showed up. Good to see you, bro. Give her unsweetened canned pumpkin and rice. Should be solid in a day. Okay. We were feeding her chicken, just regular old just like fried chicken, but not cooked in no ingredients, no nothing, just the chicken itself and no skin and rice. And it did work for like a day. And at the end of the day, it all started all over again. Give her unsweetened canned pumpkin and rice. And Wits World. Thank you for the. I had never heard that before. Maybe we'll do that since I'm forcing food down her belly. Maybe we'll do that. I guess the pumpkin cleans her out or something. I know the rice does help, but I mean rice is mushy, so it's never gonna like turn hard. So let's see here. A to Z says the devaluation of the dollar drives prices up on everything: real estate, perishable goods, and fuels. Absolutely true. A to Z. And I was watching Bloomberg this morning, and they were actually showing the dollar losing percentage hour by hour in the international markets for the last 8 hours. So something is going on with the dollar. I do not know what it is, but it is. Pumpkin is loaded with fiber. Well, okay. Maddie says our house insurance went from 1,270 last year to 3,000. Oh my God. Rang them up and said it was climate change and we were in a rural fire risk area trying to get us all out of the country areas. Yeah, I believe that. And it also has a lot to do with here in America, believe it or not, guys, if you didn't know this, if you have a fire department and the insurance companies rate the fire departments. And if your fire department isn't up to snuff, it could be down the road and they wouldn't care. They're going to raise your rates. But if you have a quality fire department, or even better, a full-time fire department, then your insurance rates will actually go down. Fiber is good to get it solid. I got you. So unsweetened pumpkin, canned pumpkin. And it's the perfect time for that too. Okay. So I guess I would just do I mix it up with the rice or do I just warm it up and clump it together? Does it matter if it's hot or cold? Talk to me, Goose. Finish me up here because I'm gonna go to Wally World and do that today. Let's see here. My veteran also recommends pumpkin and rice. Gotcha, Eagle Lover. Gotcha. So that's two people right there. Two, not three. Two. That's two people that have said that. Pumpkin and rice. Oh, let's see here. All right. So it looks like the chat has slowed up. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. What can we do to get the algorithm fired up again? Type the number 2 if you hung out with your family this weekend, because I like to see that kind of stuff. That's one of the reasons I'll unplug over the weekends and just kind of disconnect from all of this worldly bunk. You know what I'm saying? If you hung out with your family this weekend, type the number 2 in the chat. That way the chat rate, it's actually a real thing, will fire up and it'll send more people our way. All right. Violet says Hicktown Honey, mid Tennessee, a once per rural area and now newer buildings at 45,000. Sounds about right. It sounds about right. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Looks like I'm seeing a bunch of 2s. We're good. Live with them. So yeah, but you know what? That's why we have rooms. So you don't have to hang out with them if you don't want to. Bradley says Bradley took a number 3 on this one. Let's see here. Two and no TV. We fix things around the house together. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the final subject that is all economic based here, and then we'll roll back to the chat. So this one talks about the stock market is edging toward extremes of Great Depression and dot-com eras, which means they're seeing the statistical numbers that are starting to match those periods. It's basically a forecast. So stock market valuations, by one measure, have hit highs surpassed only a few times in history. The market's upbeat expectations on future corporate earnings may face disappointment, is what they're saying. They're basically saying that the market is doing this weird thing where it's continuing to go up even though the world's on fire. And when the companies have to start talking about their corporate earnings, they're going to find out they didn't make a lot of money. After a rally that defied high interest rates and the recession calls, stock valuations are now edging toward levels seen before some of the great market meltdowns in histories, by one measure at least. Oh my God, this yawning is killing me. 3.5 hours sleep is super duper fun. A time-tested way of assessing whether equities are fairly valued is by comparing them with government bonds. Here we go. We're talking about the government bonds again, guys. Considered one of the safest forms of investment. And by that metric, stocks are looking historically expensive. Stocks. The price of stocks have increased because the market has valued them higher. That's not good, because everybody knows there's only one way to go, and that's down. A key measure of the riches of stocks relative to the debt is the so-called equity risk premium, or extra return on shares over treasury bonds. We're talking about stocks versus bonds again. The metric has plunged this year. The indicating stretched stock valuations. Remember what I just said? I just said it a second ago. They're overvaluing their stocks toward levels seen during the Great Depression of the 1930s and the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s. Delving deeper into the historical data, we find that the past century, there have been only a handful of instances when U.S. equities have been more expensive relative to bonds, such as the Great Depression and the dot-com crash. So this is science, guys. This is math. This is statistical analysis. I've highlighted this in orange so that I can emphasize this. History suggests equities won't stay this expensive relative to bonds. Now, what does that mean, guys? It means that if we can't sell our bonds, they lose their value. And where do we get our money from? The Fed, who's selling bonds to pick things up. It's all this unbelievably crazy circle of stupidity that it is what it, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Zachary, I'm doing super duper. I'm operating on 3.5 hours of sleep, but we're doing just fine. All right, so let's go ahead and go. I'm going to go back to the chat here real quick, and let's see what we've got some stuff in there. Let's see. Someone said they hung out with their mag this weekend. Well, that's good. That's cool. Sorry, fat fingers missed it. Make sure you don't use pumpkin pie filling, not the same. Okay, excellent. Where are we at here? Maddie says, yep, we are in a recession now, going into depression. It seems that way. It seems that way. And, fortunately, these things are avertible, but it takes the government to collaborate with big business, with the stock market, to make things reverse. And that's what it takes. And right now, the people in the stock market are more focused on making money than reversing this negative trend, because that means they would lose money. And the government is more interested in looking good instead of fixing the problem like they're supposed to. So I can do that. This is a touchscreen. I don't know why I can't do that. That's weird. All right. Stop that. Let's see. All Australian super funds, 401ks are bet on the U.S. markets. If you go down, we get pulled down with you too. Yep, that's right. Let's see. Not enough sleep. You're tired. Too much sleep. You're tired. Oh, shut up. The 30s are the 30s. Okay. I'm not older though. I'm 15. I thought you were 16. You lied about your age again. Are these issues? All these issues are doing the WEF recon. Yeah. The bottom line is that there's a very high probability that there are people with ulterior motives that are trying to make things happen. I'm almost 16. Okay, I get it now. You're almost 16. There are people with ulterior motives that could be guiding our lives the way we do not want them to, and there's not a lot we can do about it because it requires people to operate in mass, to move in mass, to think in mass instead of being sheeple. And unfortunately, this all comes down to people just being too damn lazy to do anything about it. All right, I got something going on in this chat over here, or I thought it was. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we've almost made it. We've almost made it to an hour. I've run out of things to talk about. You guys have really been supportive in the chat, and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. But I want to tell you guys a couple of things first. So the PrepStock main ticket website is online right now, but guys, I'm telling you, there are still the advanced tickets left on Clapper, okay, that are much cheaper than the PrepStock tickets. Okay, we're not going to lower the PrepStock tickets once these Clapper ones are gone. They're the cheapest tickets that you can buy. Okay, so if you're contemplating going, if you're worried about the world ending, you know what I'm saying? Please stop. Okay, if you don't know where you're going to be in a year from now, I understand. Okay, but listen, we all know how these deals work. It's like any other vacation. The sooner you book, the sooner or the more money you can save. If you wait, you're going to spend more money. If the economy's getting worse, then you're going to want to save some money. So please, if you want to get those there's only 3 of them. There's only 3 of those advanced tickets left on It's Doomsday Podcasts in his shop. So I would definitely get one in there next year, maybe. Yeah, it is next year. It's October 2024. It is next year. But those things are still available. After the end of this month, those tickets are going away, and only the main tickets are going to be getting sold. So it's on you guys. It's on you guys. If you do want to buy tickets after those go, and it's not by December 1st, get up with me, and I'll make sure that you get some that are regular priced. Because I tried. I offered it several times. Okay, guys, and we actually do have a pretty good showing already. So it's going to behoove you to get in early because things are filling up rapidly. Once we start to promote this thing out on the internet, with Google and all these other things, that place is going to fill up fast. And there was only going to be 150 tickets sold. That's it. That's all that's going to get sold, guys. So do what you're going to do. It's your money. Be adults about it. As usual, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out. On the Clapper side, do whatever it is you do over there to keep me doing what I'm doing here. Thank you for supporting the channel, and stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you, which will be tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Unless you're a Patreon. Links below. Bye-bye. All right, my Clapperons, good to see you.